welcome everyone back to the channel. This is me, Star, and this is another video about witchlings. So I'm just gonna start now. The cursed toads, also known as the spares of 65, when anger becomes vengeance. Look, if I'm being honest, at first I was so confused on why they became evil, and because as spares they were ultimately believed to be on the good side because they were wronged by many people, especially from the upper class of their town. But after some thinking, I believe I can explain why they're like that. Make a deep dive. So, the question that I'm going to try to answer is how and why did they become evil? So, let's start. Who are they and what is their task? So in the start of Witchlings Book 1, when the Witchlings trio were making their research on the recent impossible task, it talked about the cursed toads, and also known as the spares of 65. So canonically, in October 8, 1965, three spares, namely Amon, Gamigan, and Barbados Birch, invoked the impossible task in a first time over 100 years. So, as usual, they were given 21 days to find an infamous, poisoned, trichotomous tree deadly plants invisible to the naked eye. And in their 20th night, they had this meeting with the town uncle because the Gran was somewhere else because of the fire in the other two towns. So they talked with, I believe, the Raven Skills uncle, and then among the townspeople, it was said that they actually completed it. And in their official record in the library, I presume, their deaths were in 1987. So it's quite a bit of a time jump from 1965 to 1987. And then in the parts of the book, the Witchlings trio found the uncle's memory. And for some reason, they held the thing they were trying to find, the poisonous plants. So they did, the rumors were true. They actually found it. And then in their battle in the last part of the book where they battled with the Witchlings trio, they appeared more younger looking, more hideous. They had thousands of tiny cuts and large bruises, and they had oozing well over their faces, and they looked green, like they're infected or something. And that is coming from the description from the book. So, from all of the information here that I just told about them, keep in mind that what we can extract here is that because of them, because of their determination, that the fact that they invoke the impossible task shows how they're as determined as the Witchlings trio to not lose their magic, I suppose. And that is basically everything. So let me know if I missed anything in the comments down below, but yeah. What makes them different from the Witchlings trio? So the two of them, the Cursed Children and the Witchlings trio, they have one similarity. They both felt anger. Keep in mind, anger is an emotion that they both felt. But for the Cursed Toad's anger, it became vengeance. So, vengeance is different from anger because it is directed towards something wrong, something bad. So why? So why did it become vengeance? Well, at first, I think it's because they didn't have any support, or at least not that we know of. I don't think there were any mentions of anyone supporting the three of them? If they did, please let me know. And I think that the rejection from others in Ravenskill, in their town, lead to them rejecting themselves as spares. Because of that, they started hating spares just like them, started being the ones they hated the most. Also that perhaps they'd rather be the ones who discriminate others than to be the ones who get discriminated against. And that is, messed up. And when they saw the witchlings trio powerful, when they met them, they saw them moving around the town, they didn't want that. How could they be strong? They didn't deserve it. Because it was them, the cursed children, the spares of 65, they deserved it because they worked so hard to complete their mission that took them so long to take revenge on those they aspired to hate, to somehow fill the holes of their empty hearts. And that made them greedy for power. But it was that very pursuit of vengeance, of power, that actually emptied who they truly were. And now let's talk about the witchlings trio's anger that instead of becoming vengeance actually became a pursuit of justice. So there were many times that they felt anger, but they didn't go around impersonating uncles and burning towns. Nope. They wanted to create a better future for spares because they experienced to be spares. So they know how it felt like to be wronged, to feel injustices, unfairness. So they wanted other people to gain their rightful rights. They wanted people to start treating spares as people, not as servants or leftovers of society. And in that way, they channeled their anger to do the right thing. And that's what makes them a symbol of light among spares. I would also like to add about the witchling trio. Their upbringing was that they were taught the right values. The values of justice, unity, being kind to other people, and just a sense of righteousness. And it's also because they had this support system from each of their respective parents, the gran, and other friends that helped them along the way. So they're not completely alone. And that's also a major factor why they wanted it to be a quest for righteousness. And now to answer the question I asked in the start of the video, how and why did the spares of 65 become evil? Well, to answer pretty quickly, doing things in the name of greed and revenge definitely aren't in the good list. But to answer more elaborately, their descent to evilness started after they felt anger. Yes, dear sweet anger. Fury deep in their bones, they start asking themselves, why are we treated this way? What did we do to deserve this? Thing is, it's very easy to blame it all on anger. After all, they were right to feel wronged because it is true. The treatment of spares was horrendous. However, anger wasn't what made them evil. It's what they did with that anger that determined whether they were good or not. And what did they choose to do? They casted a bunch of hexes to erase people's memories, burning 2 towns, a post office, and an alive Alaric. And counting, probably. Now that, me friends, is why and how they become evil. Okay, moral lesson time. Anger in itself isn't bad. In fact, it's incredibly necessary to feel anger. It tells you when something or someone is crossing a boundary. With all that said, we can take from this is that we be careful with what we do, the sole determinant if we use anger for good or bad. And you have now reached the end of the video. So, at the end of the day, these are all my opinions and I want to hear from yours. Feel free to share your thoughts as long as they are said respectfully. I hope this video provided some value, and until next time, bye-bye!